and then Trish, maybe a few minutes to just introduce yourself and why your name is on the ballot. And just for everyone's information, and I said before, I'm in my year 2 of a 4-year term. And so this would be year 4 because I had a 2-year term before. So if you have any questions too about the trust, I can give you that perspective as a community elected trustee. So I'll turn it over to you, Beedahsiga.
Okay. Anin Bojo Beedahsiga Dishnakaz Nawash Don Jaba Moves Do Dem. My name is Beedahsiga Elliott. I'm at a loss for words, which is really odd because of the profession of my nature. That being that I am of course an MC. What about myself? I'm the oldest of 4 siblings. My father is Butch Elliott. My mother is Germaine. And I've been a community member my whole life. I've lived at my community, and I have a deep, deep connection with Cape Croker, and I feel a calling deep within myself to be at home. And my hope is that the Coldwater trustee position would be a first step in going home to help my community members. I strongly believe that this trust was delivered to us to help out and to assist people and to whatever, to help with our direction of what we're going to do and how we're going to get there. And I want to be able to guide and support, direct, and service my community in a good, positive way. And I've come home from being away for so long, and I'm just so welcomed back. And I know that Cape Croker is always in my heart. Whenever I go somewhere, wherever I do my introduction, and I always proudly say that I'm from Nawash, and being from Cape Croker is absolutely, I'm very proud of that. And anything that I can do to support and help, I would most definitely be there for that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so Terry?
I just learned how to mute my microphone, so I'm unmuting it. Good evening, everybody. My name is Terry King, and I'm actually just have moved back to Nawash from Toronto. I've gone back and forth a few times, and my heart is here in the community. However, I have been one of those people that have been far and wanting to come home myself. So I know what that's all about. Why I left my name up to be, I actually wanted to run for the Coldwater. I've been following the Coldwater process for a few years now. I've gone to the AGMs to find out how the processes are, because it sometimes seems really daunting, and there seems to be a lot of information that I just can't seem to wrap my mind around. And I thought I would like to lend some of my expertise with simple language and stuff like that to some of the applications and stuff like that that are on within the process of obtaining money from the Coldwater to band members. I also know that it's a big task, Lisa. I just have to say that you've done a great job trying to get people involved and getting these online things going, because I know that the information is, people keep saying they're not getting the information, but I've seen it everywhere. And so I think that you've done a really great job, and I thank you for that. I've also had a lot of conversations with Larissa. So I have a little bit of idea of some of this stuff, some of the limitations the trust has, and so the intent of the agreement. may not be translating as well as it was originally meant to. And so, yeah, I would like to look more into that. That's one of the things I would like to learn about is about the agreement. How can we, is it possible to make some adjustments? What are the criteria for that? Those kind of things. And I've seen some real positive things happen with the trust. I'd like to see more, and I'd like to be a part of that process. So that's why I'm running, and I'm really encouraged to see the people who are running, because we really need to see. It doesn't matter who wins, who wins in this thing. I think that all three of you, or all three of us, are actually pretty determined and good people. So I'm good with that. I'm totally good with that. I would like to help out in any way, even if I'm not a trustee. So that's my couple minutes. Thank you.
Thanks, Terry. And Trish.
Okay, so bonjour. My name is Trish Meekins. I'm actually a Najwan. I'm second eldest of Anita Najwan's family, so she's the oldest daughter in my grandpa Wilmer's family. And I myself am a mother of 4 boys, and I'm actually have my master's in social work, so I'm currently working right now on my own private practice. And so I have an office here in Owen Sound. And so I speak to a lot of people. And I guess I understand the challenges that people are going through with trying to maybe get to where they want to get to. And I recently actually was looking at the application for the Coldwater Fund. And yeah, the application form could definitely be revised. I found that I was kind of repeating information, and I think that maybe something more detailed could be put in after you initially say, hey, I'd like to apply for this money, so you're just showing a statement of intent. And I think that to kind of do something along those lines might be a little bit easier or better. But in the way of being eligible to contribute to the community, to contribute to our culture and ceremonies, and how it's going to enhance the whole population, I think is really is what I got anyways from being eligible to apply for that money. And I think that that's important, because I think that as Anishinaabeg people, whether we're from Nawash or wherever, I think that it's important to help all of our people. And if we can showcase even members of our own community, I would really like to have a hand, I guess, in promoting our own community members to make us more cohesive, I guess, as a community. So yeah, so I think that being a trustee would be a really good experience for me. I feel like it's a natural next step in progression to where I guess I want to be. So getting that trustee training, I think would be a really amazing experience. And being that I am in a position presently where I deal with people who are vulnerable and are looking for somewhere they can look to and trust someone to be able to share whatever it is that they need to share. So yeah, as Terry said, like, it's awesome to see the candidates who are there standing. I'd be quite happy as well with any of the candidates that are here running. So but I thought I would put in my name, because I really feel like I could contribute to assessing people's ideas and hopefully promoting community members and in pursuits that they feel wholeheartedly that that's what their spirit is calling for. So yeah, so that's why I thought I would apply to be a trustee.
Thanks, guys. It's true. You're all amazing. So I think I didn't want to take up too much time of this evening, but maybe I have one question here, and I noticed that Robin's on there. Maybe she has a question, or maybe you guys have a question for each other. Yeah, it's pretty cool that, in terms of community sort of capacity to support, that the trust has reinvested about close to $5 million back into the community. That's pretty neat. At the same time, making a return exceeding with the current market. So a lot of good things to do, and everybody always says it's a new trust, so there's so much improvements, can rewrite applications, all of that. Just maybe a quick question: what skills will help support you in this role? Anybody can answer.
If I could go, what skills? I like to think that I would provide a fair and balanced approach. And a lot of the teachings that I've received over many years has shown me how to balance everything out. When like currently right now, I'm the stay-at-home dad. My wife Veronica is back at school doing her Anishinaabe and she's taking the Ojibwe language. So I'm at home raising the three kids. So that's a lot of balance, as I'm sure many of you understand what that's like, raising kids, and and then doing a startup business. So I have an approach that requires a lot of balance, a lot of give, a lot of take, and I like to think that I have a really good ability to reach a compromise. Sometimes you want to help out everyone. You want to make sure that you're there to assist, but you can't do it all. So you have to reach a compromise. You get a little, you give a little, and that balance has to be achieved. So I like to think that I bring a sense of balance. Of course, being fair, being honest, being open, being trustworthy. I just, geez, I sound like I'm bragging. I don't want to sound like that, because I'm not. Like I'm trying to practice being humble, and but at the same time, that's what I do. That's what I bring, and I think that I would be a good support for that trust because of that. Wow. Going back to mute.
I like that mute button.
Oh, I guess I'll go.
Yeah, sorry. I thought we were going in order.
Yeah, okay. I've had some past training with effective boards and committee training with some of the, like Schwand and Associates. I found that I sat on the board of the Ontario Literacy Coalition for a number of years, and found that training is always good, even especially when it has to deal with a bunch of people trying to agree on certain things. So learning about having the mission statement and having a common goal really helps with that. Besides that, I think that I have a really big passion for this community and lifting other people up. I think that allowing them to make their own way, and I have had to make some difficult decisions before in my positions, and so and as Beedahsiga said, it's about being fair and being able to make those compromises. So I have that skill set, as well as some of the outreach. I've done a lot of work with learners, and that really taught me a lot about getting how to do outreach. So I have some outreach background as well. So Um, I think I'll leave it at that. I think the biggest skill I have is the passion for what this trust is intended and what it can do.
Which, as for my skill set, yeah, I've sat on quite a few boards throughout the last 20 or so years. I was actually president at Mawikwadong for about 9 years. I just finally stepped down from that, and because I felt I spent my time there, and I think that really having the vision. I think I come from a place of vision. Like I always like to see. The bigger picture, I guess, and so having that vision, has helped me. I've always been a frontline worker. I've worked at nonprofits as a counselor, and since I was like 23 years old, was my first paying position as an education counselor. And so I worked with our youth for a long time. And then I worked for several years as a counselor for women who experienced domestic violence. And through that time, I dealt with children for a short period of time, and then I had an opportunity to work with our elders. So I'm thankful for those experiences, but I think that it's also given me a really good skill set in regards to working with the people, but also in a governance role. So overseeing the bigger picture stuff and not the day-to-day kind of runnings of things. So and then running my own business, like I have to be able to make sure that I'm budgeting my money as well in order to keep my business running. And I've had my actual office running now for just over a year, almost a year and a half now. And I've been doing my own business though since probably about 2010. So just doing, speaking engagements here and there in regards to cultural sensitivity training. And I also do a group called Pathways to Inner Peace, which is really about living life in balance, much of what Beedahsiga was saying there, and in using our teachings. So using the teachings that I've learned throughout my lifetime, but also through my university education that was based in our culture. So I'm really thankful for those things as well. So I incorporate ceremony and our culture into my life wherever I can as well. So, anyway.
Thanks.